Hi everyone, I'm Annabelle and welcome to my channel. Today's YouTube video is gonna be on a small Sephora haul. I went to Sephora on two separate occasions and I ordered a couple things online, and I wanted to show you guys a look and test some new things out. Sephora usually doesn't do a lot of sales, so when I saw this palette go on sale, I had to get my hands on it because I've been eyeing it for a really long time. And it is a pretty pricey palette. It's probably the most expensive palette I've bought to date. And I got it 50% off. The other three products are new. They're from Patrick Starr's One Size beauty brand. He just came out with his own brand. So I'm excited to try them. And if you want to see the look I'm going to create today, keep on watching. So some of these products I did go into the store and purchased myself, and another one I actually had to buy online. Right now that COVID is going on, it's kind of hard to go shopping at any makeup place just because all the testers are covered up for everyone's safety. And one of the products I did get was a foundation, so I'm kind of nervous to try it out just because I wasn't able to actually get shade matched in it. So let's hope that I was close in picking this out. I've been really wanting to use this foundation just because I heard it is really full coverage, and I am a full coverage girl. I don't really like to do natural looks, so this foundation is definitely for me, and I'm really hoping that I matched myself correctly. Sephora does have something online where you can basically pick a foundation shade that you've already been using. For example, mine is Urban Decay All Nighter, so I'm shade 5 in this. And if I looked it up on the Sephora website, it would compare another foundation that I wanted to try out and find my closest shade, which was Amaretti 310G. And basically, these two should be around the same shade. So since this one works for me, I'm hoping this one is gonna match me pretty well too. And inside this box is the palette I got off of the Sephora sale. It is the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. Every time I saw this palette in store, I fell in love, especially with those shimmer shades. I just had to have it. Although this palette is $70, so it took me a while to get it. And the fact that it was on sale, I think I bought it for around 40 bucks. So I think that was a good deal. It was a steal. So I had to get my hands on it. I had been slowly considering paying full price for this, and it was gonna hurt my bank account a little bit, but makeup is makeup. I am so glad I got this palette. These colors are something that I would use. I'm really picky when it comes to my palettes. If I can't picture myself using these shades, then I probably won't buy it. I'm obsessed with pinks and purples, but maybe I'll go for the blue today. I don't know, we'll see. The other three products that I bought are from Patrick Starr's One Size beauty brand. I got the Go Off Dissolving Mist, and I also got the makeup wipes and as well as the eyeliner. I heard the makeup wipes were really good, and the combination of these two just made taking your makeup off so easy. And I also got the Point Made eyeliner pencil. I really got this thinking about my mom, just because when she uses eyeliner pencil, she likes to put it on her waterline, and personally I like to do that too. A lot of the times we have issues with the pencils because they'll start kind of going under our eye and like smudging. But I did see Patrick's video on this pencil, and he literally put it in his hand. It didn't come off, so I'm hoping it works out that way. To test this foundation out, I'm gonna use things that I normally would when I'm going through my makeup routine. And the first one is the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream. I use this as my primer just because when I do wear foundation, I've noticed that my skin tends to start getting itchy. I don't know why. I guess my skin is just sensitive like that. But this has been seeming to work out for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply the product. You could use a beauty blender to apply this, but I honestly just like to put it with my fingers. I don't really use beauty blenders to apply primers. I don't really actually use primers also, just because I tend to get really oily when I do use primers. I've tried a few, but it just didn't work out. So I guess I would say that I don't believe in primer. After I use the First Aid Beauty Cream, I do put foundation on next. I have this little tray that I bought from Ulta Beauty. I don't really like to apply foundation or any makeup on my hands. I just don't like to put anything on my hands in general. It just feels dirty to me. I don't know why. I've always just done it this way. I start with 2 pumps. That usually is what covers my entire face, but we'll see. I'm really hoping this matches me. Oh, it does smell like perfume. I mean, I don't mind it. It smells good. Because it does smell, if you guys have sensitive skin, this probably won't be for you. I know a lot of people don't like it when makeup or skincare has a smell. So I'm hoping this doesn't cause me to actually get even more itchy. It looks like 2 pumps did do the trick. It did cover up my whole face, and I kind of had a little bit left over. It is really full coverage. From what I can tell, it covered up my acne pretty well, and I really like that. So after foundation is done, I like to put on eyeshadow primer. I do use the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. I do like to get this primer into my inner corner and right under my brow, just because I do like to put in inner corner highlight with my eyeshadows and brow bone highlight. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my Morphe brush. It's the M513 and dip into the shade Libra. After my transition shade is done, I like to go in with my Morphe M167 brush just to get the main color all over my lid. I have about 7 of these. This is my favorite brush. And we're going to go ahead and use this and dip into the color Ultraviolet. Okay, so I'm noticing that the top layer kind of has to be like taken out in order for the actual shade to like pop. After that main shade is on, I like to go back in with the first brush that I use, dip into the shade again, and just blend it out. And I do this just so I won't have such a harsh line of that main shadow that I am using. I was planning on only using like 3 shadows, but now that I'm actually looking at the palette, I kind of want to go in with Hot Mess and just put it on the outer corner over here and blend it in a little. Anytime I put a shade on the outer corner, I like to go in with a Morphe M222 just to get in a little bit, and I only use it just to pat it on exactly on the areas that I want it. After I get the shadow in the area that I want, I will go back and grab my first brush that I use and use that to blend it out. You can go and dip into the first original shade you use to help you blend it out as well. And I just take it up a little bit and in circle motions. Anytime I'm doing inner corner or brow bone highlight, I like to go with the Morphe M213. This is a small detailed brush and fits perfectly in that area right here. We'll go ahead and put Cosmic on the inner corner and use Supermoon for the brow bone highlight. I do have to apply a few layers of this to get it as shiny as I want it to, but no issue with that. It doesn't bother me. And I'll go ahead and go in with the shade Supermoon. When I try to pick it up on the brush, this is what it looks like. Like, it doesn't really want to pick it up. I don't know if that's focusing. It's there, but it's kind of like crummy. I guess it's the type of shadow it is. I feel like this is more of a topper shade. It is kind of flaking off of the brush and falling down onto my face. You can't really see it, so I don't know how I feel about that shade. Maybe I'll try. I'm gonna try and go in with Galaxy, and I'll see if that shade works better. So that shade Galaxy really helped, just because Supermoon wasn't what I was expecting. I feel like it really was more of a topper and not necessarily for a brow bone highlight. And after, just because sometimes I do put the brow bone highlight kind of everywhere, I will go back in with that first brush and again just make sure it is blended out between the two colors. Next, I'm going to use the shade Vortex and put that right on my lash line. And for that, I'm going to be using my Morphe M165 to get right under there. I like to put darker shades on my lash line just to make my eye pop out more. Especially if you have like colored eyes, then it'll definitely look good. After I'm done with the eyeshadow and I like the way it looks, I'll go in with my concealer and add under eye concealer, and I'll also use that just to cut out the eyeshadow. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and use the One Size Point Made eyeliner pencil. There's some people that can actually do this with one hand, but I cannot. As I'm applying this, it's really smooth. You can barely even feel it. Now that that is the whole eye look complete, I will go ahead and do the other eye off camera. I'll add some bottom mascara and then throw on some lashes. Okay, so I went ahead and put on bottom mascara and lashes, but just for the sake of the video, I'm gonna go ahead and finish off my makeup. Okay everyone, this is the completed look using the Huda Beauty foundation and eyeshadow palette. The only issue that I had with the palette was really the shade Supermoon. It was more like a topper, which I wasn't expecting, but now that I'm looking at the palette, I can actually tell that it is a different formula than the other shimmer shades, which would explain a lot. And it looks like Supermoon and the colors Gold Glitch are both the same type of eyeshadow. So let me actually take a look on the back of this and see. So it looks like they are two sheer multi-reflective shadows. It doesn't say it's a topper, but I'm just gonna assume that that's what it is. I mean, it was reflective, I guess, but I would have really liked to have a nice white shade to add to the inner corner or for a brow bone highlight. Some of the shades, like this one, which I'm assuming all of these shimmer shades are going to be the same, when I was digging into that color, it was kind of like falling out, which is not really an issue to me, but if you guys are concerned about that, that's a good thing to know. When it comes to the matte shadows, there was absolutely no fallout, which I appreciate because my palettes get really dirty really fast because of fallout. Fallout doesn't normally bother me, but I think it's good to know. Now that we tested out the foundation and the eyeshadow palette, I'm gonna go ahead and take the makeup off using Patrick Starr's One Size spray and the makeup wipes. I'm gonna go ahead and do half my face with just the makeup wipes, and then the other half I'm gonna have the spray on and then use the makeup wipes. Just in case somebody only wants to get the makeup wipes or actually wants to buy both, you guys can see how well the makeup wipes actually are on their own. When I open up the makeup wipes, the first thing you see is a seal that you have to peel to obviously open them up. I don't know if I peeled that off wrong, but it didn't actually remove the seal. So I guess I'll go ahead and just poke it with my nail. Okay, there you go. So that's what actually was supposed to happen. I appreciate the fact that these makeup wipes do have this to keep them closed and to open, because the ones I normally use, and I feel like a lot of people also use like the Neutrogena ones, are these where it just has this like plastic to close it. Sometimes I don't really close it the right way, so it'll stay open, or like they will be exposed to air and then the makeup wipes dry out. So I really like the fact that it has this on. And I'm gonna go ahead and take it out. This is a really big makeup wipe. I didn't expect them to be this big. They're like as big as my face. Oh my god, yeah. It literally covers my face. They smell really good too. It kind of reminds me of fruit, like mangoes. There are 21 wipes in here, and the fact that they're this big, I'm actually really shocked. Normally a makeup wipe is probably like half the size, like this, so I'm really impressed. So we're gonna go ahead and, you know what, I'm actually gonna cut it in half. I'm gonna split it just so that I can test it to wipe off this half of my makeup. The first thing that I noticed already is that the wipe isn't as wet as I thought it would be. If anything, it feels kind of a little dry. Normally other makeup wipes would be more moist. Okay, so it took off the main color with one wipe. And did a pretty good job of removing that as well. I don't know, I feel like my hand, it does feel kind of oily. I'm pretty impressed. It took half my makeup off and I used both sides of half of the wipe. So now that I see that it took this side off pretty well with just the wipes, I'm kind of excited to see what it's gonna do with this. So it says spray 8 to 10 inches away from the face until it is evenly coated. Massage into skin and gently wipe. 8 to 10 inches. I want to see how like hard it's gonna come out. Oh, that did kind of go far. It smells the same as the makeup wipes. I swear guys, this smells like mango. Maybe because I've been craving mangoes. It says 8 to 10 inches away, so I'm kind of scared. It didn't feel wet. You can feel it going on your face, but it just feels like air. I'm kind of shook. So now that I have the spray on, I'm gonna go ahead and use the makeup wipe, which again, it's not too wet. It kind of just feels like damp. Like if you wet a towel and then like wring it out, that's what it feels like. Okay, it's removing it pretty well. I'm gonna take out another one just because I want to see if they're all like this damp. Just curious, maybe the second one is more wet. The second one is, it does feel a little bit more wet. I'm only gonna use half. Okay, yeah, so I think it was just that top one that was a little kind of dry, but this one feels a lot more wet. It feels a lot more fresh, so I'm kind of glad that it was just the top one that did that. Okay, now that I'm going in with this more wet one on this side, I can see that it's even taking the foundation out of like my pores. My face doesn't feel too oily after those things though, so it kind of feels like it's hydrated in a way. Just to sum up the video, here are my final thoughts on all the products. First, we'll go ahead and start with the Huda Beauty foundation. It does have a strong, like, flowery, rosy smell. If you do have sensitive skin and you are sensitive to scents, I probably wouldn't recommend this. The smell is strong. While it was on my face, I couldn't really smell it, I guess. But as soon as you pump it out, even after just opening it, like, you can really tell that it has a strong scent. I did like how full coverage it is. It did cover up a lot of my acne, so I am really going to be reaching for this foundation a lot. When it comes to the eyeshadow palette, it's really beautiful. I'm actually happy with it. I was just upset about that one shade, but now I know it's a topper shade. So other than that, these other shades, you kind of have to dig into them at first, just to get that top layer off, and then you will really get good payoff. So those are my thoughts on the foundation and the eyeshadow palette. When it comes to the makeup wipes, the spray, and the eyeliner pencil, I really want to keep trying out this eyeliner pencil and see if it can last me all day. When it comes to the spray, I was kind of shook. I was expecting it to feel like a setting spray where you can feel it like wet, but it was like just feeling air, and it was like oil basically. What I really liked about this is that it didn't leave my face oily at the end. Even after using the makeup wipes, like my face actually kind of feels somewhat hydrated but not really oily, which I really like. There are some makeup removers out there that they say they're not oil based, but when you put them onto your face, they straight up feel like oil, which I hate that. When it comes to the wipes, you guys did see with half of the wipe, it did take all my makeup off. And the size of the actual wipe, it was even as big as my face, which I was kind of shook about that. And there are 21 wipes. I want to say these were about $18, and the regular ones that I use are from Target, and I think they're like $4 to $6. So buying these, 2 of these could compare to like buying 1 of these because of the size, and you can even cut them in half if you don't really feel like you need to use the whole thing. They will last you a while. I mean, they get the job done. So if you ask me, do you really need both of these together? Probably not. The makeup wipes get the job done by itself, but if you really want to try out the spray, it's pretty cool. I've never seen anything like this. So I'm kind of happy I got both. But if you really want to decide whether you need both or just one, I would say just the makeup wipes would be fine because they do get the job done, and they did get a lot of my makeup off. Just keep in mind that maybe that first wipe is not going to be as moist as the other ones because it was dry. I don't know what that was about, but I really like that this one closes as well. So those are my final thoughts on all the products that I used today. I'm really happy with my purchases, especially this foundation because of how full coverage it is. I don't really like a natural look, so when I'm trying to do a full beat face, which is what I always do, this foundation really comes in handy, and I was really impressed with these makeup wipes. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys want to see more of my content, go ahead and subscribe. Maybe even click that bell so you guys can get a notification of when I do upload. I don't really have a set schedule right now. I'm just kind of doing it in between. I do have 3 other jobs. This is more like for fun. I enjoy doing my makeup, so might as well film it as I'm going. And I love to buy makeup. If you guys can see over here, I have all those bags, and I did have my Sephora ones. I have Ulta, I have a new lash brand that just came out, and I have a few boxes down here. If you guys have any suggestions of any looks or maybe even makeup you guys want to see, go ahead and leave a comment down below. If you guys like the video, give it a thumbs up and leave me some comments down below as well. If you guys are thinking about buying the makeup wipes or the spray, let me know what your thoughts are on it. And if you already do have the Huda Beauty foundation or the palette, let me know what you think about it as well. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys can subscribe and follow me on my makeup journey, and maybe stay tuned for some fun vlogs. I want to thank you all for taking the time to click on the video and for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye! Why am I talking like it's a bunch of products? Okay, whatever. Actually, it was probably more... No, actually it was not 50% off. It was less than that. A good eyeliner that... I'm going off topic. Not liking to put stuff on... So that's it for today's video. I hope you... So that's... Seeger! So that's it. Seeger? So that's it. So that's it for today's video. Seeger! I'm trying to film. Relax. Hope you guys do subscribe. Oh my god. Are you done?